it's not there.
I've also not objected to any of the questions that you asked me in an effort to be cooperative and to conclude this matter, but if you ask me anything else about where my daughter works or anything
No,
like
I
that,
don't need anything
I'm
else,
going
okay.
to object
That's
from
fine.
now on. I'm just,
I didn't really care about where she worked. I just wanted to know what kind of work she did.
why?
Just to know if she worked in the legal field. Anything outside that, I have no interest in understanding
Well, I'm just
her.
telling you, the next time you're gonna have to get a judge on the phone to order me to answer a question, or I'm just gonna object. I'm just giving you a heads up, because I am trying to be nice. Are we gonna talk about when we went sideways and I had to block you from my phone for harassment?
I wouldn't say that was harassment based on what I'm going through now and the way when you look back
I
at this, how
understand,
things
but we had
transpired.
conversations about when you went ballistic and started figuring all this stuff out, or thinking somebody had screwed you, and you harassed the hell out of me to the point that I had to block your phone.
I didn't call you excessively.
Okay.
You have a fax machine picking up your home number now, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I called you to tell you that I was noticing you for a deposition.
You caught, no.
I'm talking about last week.
No, I'm talking about when I blocked you a year ago from my cell phone.
I only talked to you maybe 2 times or 3 times in the last 5 or 6 years, and other than that, I haven't
Okay.
tried to contact you. And my phone records when I try to
I just
contact
saw an
you.
email a while ago that said to tell you, go for it,
No, but what I'm saying
because
is,
you were calling and threatening me.
I've got news for you. If I call you, it'll be listed here. It tells when I try to call you from my cell phone in my email.
Okay.
So it'll actually be listed here.
You did not call and threaten me several times and
No, I did
tell
not.
me.
I called Ms. Stanford, if I want to get sideways with you, the testimony that you're giving here today about saying that I was a lawyer or that Bob Booth did not work for me in this to formulate the first complaint when he was suspended. Now that I have a problem with. And you don't see me climbing down your throat for that. I'm just continuing to ask questions
Well,
to
you're
try
not
and
going to
get to
climb
the
down my
truth.
throat.
Huh?
I said, you're not going to climb down my throat anyway.
Well, I got Ms. Carr,
I'm
if you look on the screen here in yellow, those are the recent calls where I called to tell you that I was setting you up for a deposition to give you notice when I first did it. All within about a day or so. Then after that, I didn't call you anymore.
I didn't talk to you about that.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't answer the phone. Those are calls, though.
Oh, well, you've been blocked on my phone for over a year.
That's a home phone. You blocked me on your house phone?
I don't have a house phone anymore. It goes straight to my fax machine. It doesn't even ring at my house.
That number is, I don't know.
925-0526. That's my fax number at my house.
Yeah. Other than that, I haven't tried to call you. You can't block me if I don't try and call. Other than those calls right there, if there was other calls to you, they would list right there.
Okay.
So it's almost like you just tried to previously, before you said that, it's like you tried to slander me.
You got about 10 more minutes and we're going to get a judge on the phone.
Okay. You want to call Judge
As
Nairn?
soon as he comes in from lunch. He'll be in about 1:40 if he holds true to his normal schedule. I understand that you were wronged, and I sympathize with you.
How could you say that? Is that,
I mean, I understand that people owe you money and they haven't paid it and you're trying to collect it. I understand that. But I don't understand how,
what do you mean by, could you clarify what you mean by saying I was wrong?
you have a contract with some people that owed you money that didn't pay you. That's a wrong.
Mhm.
So you were wronged by some people that owe you money and you didn't get the money. I understand that. And
Correct.
I'm sorry for that. But I don't understand how, it's just odd to me that everybody legal that's ever been involved, from the marshal in Houston to
There's no more, I didn't, you know, the only person I didn't have a problem with
how
was the
everybody
judge.
else does everything wrong in your matter. I don't understand that.
Well, it's funny, before I got lawyers involved and I dealt with Judge Cox, I didn't have any problem with him. When I dealt with Judge Fallon, I didn't have any
Okay,
problem with him.
let's just go back to you asking me questions. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna sit here and let you discredit me either, or we will get Judge Narron on the phone, and I will bring this behavior to his attention, and it's on video. I'm not gonna sit here and let you slander me.
I've
I'm not
done
going to
nothing that
sla-
I would retract.
I'm not going to slander you, and I don't want to be slandered. You made mention that I excessively called you. The calls that I have made to you from this cell phone, I have calls that go back
I'm not saying you
years.
called me from your cell phone. I'm saying you called and threatened me to the point that I blocked your number from my cell phone.
You also, I caught you lying in our text exchange because you told me that Bob Booth was not going to get his license back, or that it had been revoked by the ODC, and in actuality, this document shows he got it back.
That's a lie. He
Okay.
did not get his license back.
Okay.
He has not practiced law. He has not met the conditions of reinstatement.
But
That's
it
what I don't
shows him-
understand.
The Office of Disciplinary Counsel shows him active.
Okay, well, I don't have any control over the Office of Disciplinary Counsel. I
Well-
know that Bob has not practiced law since he was suspended.
There's a
and he
difference
is not-
between saying he's not practicing law and saying he's not suspended. Would you agree to that?
Whatever,
I'm asking you, it's a simple question.
whatever. I didn't understand the question.
The question is Bob
We're
Booth-
gonna do this the rest of the day.
We're gonna
Bob is suspended from the practice of law. He has an order that says if he does these things, then he can practice again. He is not capable of doing this list of things. So, no, he is not free to practice law like any other attorney who is licensed in the state of Louisiana. No, he is not. The Bar Association says you have your license back, you can practice if and when. And he has not done if and when. I don't know how much plainer I can make that. I can walk. I can walk good when my toe heals. My toe's not healed yet. It's simple. Obviously, you came here under the impression today that he was practicing law again. His
This is
damn phone's been disconnected. He doesn't have the money to practice law.
Ms. Stanford, I brought up a webpage on my cell phone. Could you read the webpage for me, please, ma'am?
I'd be happy to, sir. The Louisiana LSBA Membership Directory. In accordance with the Supreme Court Rule XIX, the LSBA Membership Directory provides current contact information for members of the Louisiana State Bar Association. You may search for members using any combination of first name, last name, or city. View status descriptions. LSBA Membership Directory.
I brought
New
up
search.
Robert Booth's
Sort.
name. Is it there?
Mr. Robert A. Booth Jr., eligible. View details. Robert A. Booth was admitted 8/28/1963. He lives at 409 North Dresden, Shreveport, Louisiana. His phone number is 797-1788, although it's disconnected at this time. His email, he doesn't have one. His website, he doesn't have one. His firm, attorney at law. Board District 8th, LSBA Board District. Judicial District 1st, 1st Judicial. Parish Caddo. Parish is based on member's mailing address. Open status actions, none. Public resources, that's all it says about him.
So it says he's eligible to practice law, so he's not suspended.
That's what it says.
Okay, that's my point. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're
Let me
back.
see the Office of Disciplinary Counsel exhibit again.
Thank you.
All right, this is not it. Let me see the order from the Office of Disciplinary Counsel from the State Bar where they said he could go back to work. Let me see that. Let's talk about
That
it.
was the one that's got,
No,
I
this
don't
is,
have
this
that.
is a summation. Well,
Let's
that's
see.
the one that says
Wait a minute, I
that
actually
he
might
is
have it.
eligible,
Hang on,
his
hang on.
license is reinstated, but he cannot practice without doing these things. That's the one we need to be talking about
Hang
if
on
we're
one
talking
second.
about this. I believe one of the provisions was that he get malpractice insurance, which is now, for an attorney who's been suspended before, is astronomical. He can't keep his telephone on, so he can't buy malpractice insurance. So no, he is not an active attorney in good standing with the bar. He is an attorney who has the right to practice if he does certain things. He is not practicing, he does not have a shingle out, he does not hold himself out as an attorney. He doesn't even notarize papers. He's lost his ability to be a notary until he's back as an attorney. I don't see any of that happening in this lifetime.
would that be March 2016?
What's it say?
Right there. This one?
Go back up and let me see that again. Referring,
This
rehearing
is,
granted.
okay.
That's his rehearing. Granted probation petitioner may not operate as such, but rather must be a salaried employee of a law firm. Furthermore, petitioner shall have no access to client funds during the probationary period, nor shall he have signature authority on the financial accounts maintained by his employer, including any operating or client trust accounts. Should petitioner fail to comply with these conditions, or should he commit any misconduct during the period of probation, his conditional right to practice may be terminated. He has a conditional right to practice.
That's what I
Now,
said.
there's another, no you didn't.
Well, that's, it says on, it's even on the bar document here, it's alphabet, they have alphabetic letters, or there's alphabet.
That is an interim thing. Everything that you're looking at here, he has a ruling that says,
Here's a recommendation. Okay, so let me see if I have the ruling here.
it came from the disciplinary committee and not the bar association. Or else it came from the bar
This is,
association.
here's
and not
the,
disciplinary.
here's the hearing committee, number 60. Response to the
No,
ODC.
that's-
Okay, this is where they say that, this is what I believe I'm holding in my hand now.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
and that's when the ODC, the Office of Disciplinary Counsel, after the hearing here, issued that, and it said, we don't care if you, we're not gonna say yes or no to him being reinstated. So then the Supreme Court issued the order that said he can be reinstated.
Court reinstates suspended lawyer with no sole practice condition. In an unusual rehearing order, the Louisiana Supreme Court reinstated suspended lawyer Robert A. Booth Jr. with the condition that a 2-year probationary period he may not operate a solo law practice. But he is licensed to practice now. He's got a green light to practice. Am I correct?
He has a provisionary license to practice, provided he meets the provisions of his.
Why, if he hasn't met the provisions, would that show him here as eligible
That's a
on that
question for
website?
them.
And why would the gentleman who writes this book And,
That's a question for the gentleman that writes this book.
well, he's summarized here in an October 2015 hearing.
Okay, I'll agree that Bob is a lawyer. He's been a lawyer since 1960-something, and if he wanted to right now, he could go out and law all he wanted.
I agree with that.
That's a lie, but I'll say it if that's what you want to hear.
Well, we're in a deposition, he swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, so I'm really confused now. So he's a lawyer on the ODC, or on the State Bar website in New Orleans on St. Charles Street. He's listed as a lawyer eligible to practice in this state, but you're telling me he hasn't met the conditions of his interim or his provisional remedy, so to speak.
You know, it may be that he is licensed by the state, but he has not been readmitted to the 1st Judicial District Court or the 26th Judicial District Court. I may have been misspeaking, because he has to be readmitted by the chief judge here, and that has not happened. There you go.
Haven't seen that written anywhere. So why?
No, that's a court rule. If a lawyer's been suspended, they have to be reinstated after the bar,
But
and the
there's other
Supreme
ways
Court does it.
There's other ways he can
He
make
cannot file a pleading in Caddo Parish or Bossier Parish until they admit him back into the thing. Thank God I remembered that.
Well, I got news for you. There's other things he can do as an attorney and to hold himself out that have nothing to do with the 1st or the 26th district. And there's other things he could do as an attorney to earn a living, even working in another firm where he has no control over a trust account, which seems to be his problem. And,
Okay.
but he can still, like you said, I think you said it best a few minutes ago, he can go out and lawyer all he wants to lawyer. Is that what you said? I
Yeah.
believe that's what you said. And I agree with that.
As far as I'm concerned, he can do whatever he wants to do. He
I
don't
agree
answer to
too.
me.
All right.
Okay. Next question.
Okay. Could you tell me about the contents? Could you tell me about the contents of, sorry, the letter that you sent to the ODC on his behalf? Could you paraphrase that for me?
My personal letter,
Whatever you wrote for Bob to be able to get his license back.
that was a whole package.
No, just your letter. You wrote one letter.
That's why I said my letter
Mm-hmm.
was saying that he was of good moral character, and they were all pretty much the same. Everybody's letters were the same. They had a form online.
I'm sorry?
They had a form online saying
Okay.
what all it had to include.
All right. If what I'm saying here is true, and he prepared pleadings for me in the summer of 2011, would that have been precluded under the terms of him being reinstated?
I don't believe he prepared pleadings for you. That's your contention. That's not mine.
Okay.
Why are you just staring at me?
I'm in shock that you would say it that way based on what I know and what I know you know. But if that's your contention, that's your contention. I don't think it's accurate. I don't think it's correct.
So now
But
you're
that's your
calling me a liar.
I'm just saying it's not correct. We're at a difference of opinion. A strong difference in opinion.
Okay. Next question.
When you sent the package off to the ODC, let's go back to Joey Canatello for a moment. When you spoke to Joey Hendrick's office and you told them I was looking for a lawyer, did they ask you who had originally done my original petition? In the Benson case?
I don't think so. I don't think I talked to Joey. I think I talked to his secretary, just made an appointment.
Right, that's correct.
They didn't ask me anything.
I'm sorry if I misphrased that, by the way I asked you. Let me go back and be more precise. When you talked to Hendrick's office, you basically gave me an introduction into Hendrick's office.
I think I told them that you had some contracts, some international contract issues, and that he had been recommended, and they made an appointment.
Okay. and I'd already been in court at that time, opposite of Jim Gibson and opposite of Allison Jones. So what I'm asking you now is this: when you spoke to probably Amy,
I don't know anybody at his office. I don't know that I've ever met him.
Amy Gillingham, I believe is her name. She once showed me the message you left, and it talked about the claim in Raznovich being that, and the Olympiacos claim that I'm alluding that was a $1 million original judgment. It's a $910,000 original judgment with interest and fees. It was over $1 million when it was assigned to me. I saw the original message Amy showed me when you called in. You left a message, and she showed me that Carl Stanford had called, which is you, and that I had some cases I wanted to talk to Joey about. And it's not just Bob Booth here. I'm looking at Joey's situation here and the fact that he did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The most honest thing I can say that you wrote is the fact that it's a good thing I didn't give him the $1,000. You do remember writing that. I showed it to you a little while ago.
Yes.
Okay. If you detect any hostility from me emanating to you at all, and this is a very calm me saying this, having Joey Hendricks come into my life, I'd have been better off with a stiff someplace out of a graveyard than Joey Hendricks as a lawyer. He's absolutely horrendous based on the way I was treated there and based on what was done. It was just a complete waste of time. Bob Booth was more helpful than he was by far, and I'm not sure that says a lot at this particular time. So why would you send me, with the reputation Joey's got and you having some savvy in the legal community here, why in the world would you send me to Joey Hendricks?
Yeah, I think that you asked me to find you an international contract lawyer. and
He's
that's-
definitely not that.
I was told he was.
By who?
I think Joey Canatella. When I talked to him about it, he said Joey Hendricks has done that.
Never. Never. Even his...
Never I said that? Or I mean,
no,
are you
never has he
questioning-
done that.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know about his practice.
Let me tell you something. There's a great pretender out there that's saying he's something that he's not. If Joey Hendricks was to tell you he's an
Is
international
there a
contract...
question here, or are you just ranting again?
I'm not just ranting. It's about... You're making
I'm
a-
sorry. Are you getting statements on the record again, or is there a question for me here?
Here's the statement, or here's the question for you. It's your testimony here now that Joey Canatella told you that Joey Hendricks was an international contract lawyer?
It's not my testimony that at all. I'm taken by. You told me a while ago
I'm
that
asking.
I called Joey Canatella and that I asked him if I did that, and I told you that he said Joey Hendricks, then that's where I got it
Wait a
from.
minute, wait a
I
minute.
didn't know Joey Hendricks. I don't remember calling Joey Canatella, but you said that I did, and that does sound exactly like something I would do. If this man sitting over here that owns the studio called me and said, who would be a good person to talk to about the railroad tracks being too close to my office, I would call Joey and say, who would be a good person for the man that owns that studio to talk to about the railroad tracks being too close to his office and the trains running by at night when he's trying to record? And Joey would tell me who he thought would be somebody good for that. I do that. Guilty as charged.
Let me ask you this. It's not in your personal knowledge or your professional knowledge as a paralegal who's worked for almost 40 years in and around this area that Joey is a criminal attorney?
Joey Hendricks?
Correct. Excuse me.
I don't think there are any attorneys in Shreveport that are strictly one thing, except maybe some real estate attorneys, and they'll do successions. But Ed Mouton is a criminal attorney. All his commercials are about that. He does just as much civil as he does criminal. Joey Hendricks does civil. He does contract law. That's what I sent him somebody else for, was a contract dispute.
Tina Johnson said he didn't do much,
Well,
so
I don't know who Tina Johnson
his
is.
paralegal.
I don't know her.
I just don't think of people as thinking of Joey Hendricks as a contract guy whatsoever.
Apparently,
Let
Joey
me
did.
ask you this, do you know of any contracts he's ever sued on before?
I don't know anything about his practice. The one that I sent the guy for suit had already been filed, so no, he didn't sue that. He's just negotiating settlements.
So you can't tell me one contract that you know of where Joey Hendricks actually filed
I've
contract
never worked
claim.
for Joey Hendricks. I don't know anything about his practice. I've never even looked at a case that he's been involved in. No, I can't tell you.
What's the best number to reach Joey Canatello on?
Hey, is this 1486 your office number? 742-8800. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Does he live in Bossier? Alright. Do you know his address off the top of your head?
Texas Avenue.
Don't call him back, I don't want you to have to, I'll look it up. I get it from the state, off the State Bar website. You're excused.
Thank you.